what we have to understand it is that if you are determined, then you must incorporate the metric of resetting your life. And so, in the time that we have left in this episode today, I want to really kind of unpack for you what I mean when I say resetting your life. Here we go. When a device starts to not work properly anymore, often we are instructed to try several options, but ultimately we are told to hit the reset button on the device. And just like we have to hit the reset button on devices, I feel like many of you listening to me need to hit the reset button on your life and realize that in order for your life to get to the next level, that you have to realize what's not working, what's fragmented about your system, and what's keeping you from going to the next level and becoming the person that you were created and destined to be. However, we are always, what is the word I'm looking for? We are always troubled when it comes to the resetting of a device or our lives. And why is that? We restore it to its original settings. Therefore, you may have saved or stored something on a device and it's going to be lost unless you're able to upload it to some type of cloud or backup storage device. And it's the same way with our lives. A lot of times we're afraid to hit the reset button because we're afraid of what's going to be lost in the process. And I always tell people this, that anything that we lose en route to liberation was worth losing. Write that down. Anything that we lose en route to liberation was worth losing. So a lot of people started crying and acquiescing about circumstances and situations in their lives. And in reality, your life wasn't that great anyway. So whatever you're trying to hold on to that is hijacking you and robbing you of the healing and the higher life that you were created to live, it's more worth it to just let it go. And what we have to understand is that when it seems like your life is broken and you lack direction and have no clarity, this is the point in your life where you need to hit the reset button on your life. Earlier this year, I found myself frustrated, lacking clarity, and conflicted about what was next for my life. And so at that time, I really began to do what I call some deep work. What's really going on? What am I not addressing? What am I ignoring? What do I need to put my finger on so that I can not just move beyond this season, but I can emerge from this season with greater wisdom and clarity in my life? And on the surface, everything was fine. However, internally, I knew that it was time for something different and that I was being called to something more. And I feel like everybody listening to me right now has had those moments and seasons in their lives where you felt like you needed something different and you were being called to something more in your life. All of us have that deep desire within us to be more and to do more. I don't know a person on this planet that does not have a desire to be more and to do more. However, being called to more and actively committed to more are totally different things. Did you get that? Being called to more and actually committing to more is a totally different thing. And I talk to a lot of people that know that they're being called to more in their lives, but when it comes to the being committed for that more to happen, I feel like this is the great gulf of separation that distinguishes those that are mediocre from those that go on to achieve great things in the world. And what I want us to understand is in order to hit the reset button on your life, you must first be willing to take responsibility for your life. Whew, I have talked to so many people recently, and when I hear them talk, I hear something that really disturbs me as a leader and a mentor, and it is the language of victimization. So many people want to blame everybody and everything for where they are in their lives. And one of the things that I always tell people is, could things be the way they are because you are the way you are? And what different thing will you do to change the direction of your life? All I hear is a victim story, a woe is me, somebody that's looking for pity and sympathy. And I always tell people sympathy will never shift the season of your life. If we feel sorry for you, it will not empower you to rise above this and to become the greatest expression of who God created you to be. And so, armed with that understanding and knowledge, you have to come to a point where you take responsibility for where you are in your life. Your thoughts, your decisions, your actions have brought you to this place in your life. And if you don't like where you are, then you have to begin to change the decisions that you're making. And in order to change the decisions that you're making, you got to change what you're allowing to take up residence in your mind. And that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. But a lot of us have things that are taking up mental real estate that do not accommodate the reality that we want to create. I tell people that one of the most important things that you can keep at the forefront of your mind is, who do I want to become? How do I want to show up in the world? And if this thought does not undergird and underpin that reality of who I was born to be and who I want to show up as in the world, this is not a thought that I should allow to occupy mental real estate in the recesses of my mind. And so, what we have to understand is that if nothing changes, then nothing changes. I talked to so many people. Many people started this year. This is going to be my year. And I look at their lives, and their lives are a self fulfilling prophecy of the last 10 years, the last 20 years. Nothing is different about their lives, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And what change can you make that will become the catalyst to more in your life? Write that down. What change can you make that will become the catalyst to more in your life? It's time for us to make some important changes and to have some important conversations. You can make the choice to hit the reset button on your life. I've had to hit the reset button on my life many times. You will have to redefine yourself many times in your life. You will have to reinvent yourself many times. You will have to change your self concept of yourself many times in your life. But in each evolution, we become a greater expression, a more fuller, a more robust version of ourselves and who we were created to be. But the reality of the situation is that you always have the power, you always have the ability and the authority to hit the reset button on your life and to move your life out of neutral and into overdrive. You can start by taking personal responsibility for your life. And we're getting ready to get a little heavy. I know that some of you will check out of this episode because you don't want to hear this, but we're going to get heavy because we need to do some deep work so that we can take your life to the next level. In particular, I want to talk about taking responsibility in a couple of key areas of your life. Here we go. In particular, I want you to take responsibility for where you are. This speaks to your progress or the advancement of your life. I want you to think about, where are you? Where are you in relation to your goals? Where are you in relation to your dreams? Where are you in relation to your vision? Where are you in relation to the intentions that you've set for yourself for this year? Where are you in your relationships? Where are you in your finances? Where are you in your health and well-being? Where are you in your spirituality and your spiritual journey? I want you to think about that. Where are you? I want you to write that in your journal. I want you to spend some time over the next 7 days with that question. And I want you to just write from your soul. Whatever comes up in that moment, write it down. And I want you to begin to internalize that information so that you can get a real sense of where you are prophetically in your life in proportion to where you should be. I want you to also take responsibility for how you get there. This speaks to the choices that have set the current course for your life and shaped your current cycles. So we've already asked where you are, taking responsibility for where you are. Now we need to take responsibility for how you got there. This speaks to the choices that have set the course of your life currently and shaped your current cycles. So how have your decisions got you here? I always tell people your decisions have brought you here. You are always one decision away from a different life. So some people look at their decisions and get depressed, but you still have breath. You still have opportunity. You still have